Hello! We would like to welcome you to the next episode of our new podcast.
You
And I.
Ukrainian New Identity. This podcast will help you
And us to reinvent Ukrainian culture, history, and traditions.
and to see the history through the eyes of ordinary Ukrainians.
We will also highlight differences and similarities between British and Ukrainian cultures.
My name is Maria Kush. I'm a Ukrainian refugee from Sumy.
My name is Zhenya Shkil and I've been living in the UK for more than 20 years. Oh, what are you drinking?
This is actually Chay.
When you say chai, you mean Indian drink, which is a mixture of tea leaves and various spices. Is that right?
No, this is just black one. Chai.
Well, surely it's tea, not chai.
Okay. Oh, you have it with milk?
Yeah, well, actually, when I was in Ukraine many years ago, as a child, I never ever had black tea with milk. We always had it with a slice of lemon, and my grandma used to bake lots of tasty cakes, and every evening we had a big party. I call it celebration because it feels like celebration, but it's just at the end of a very tiring day, we would sit under a huge pear tree in the garden, and we had a lawn table and all the family would gather, and there were lots of mosquitoes flying around, being really annoying, biting everyone. We had large samovar full of hot water and a beautiful tea, which was mixture of black tea and herbs that my grandfather collected every year. And we had jams and we talked for hours and hours, and such lovely happy memories. Now my ritual of drinking tea has changed since I moved to the UK. I really like my tea with milk. And I don't like sugar in it, but many people do love a bit of sugar. Sometimes I add a tiny bit of honey, actually. It tastes really nice with honey. And it's not a ritual anymore, unfortunately. It's just such part of routine. I work from home, I run downstairs, make a quick cup of tea, bring it to my desk, drink it while working. So it lost a bit of this sort of charm, of the childhood.
Of course. I think all of us as a Ukrainians, we have each and everyone have some different traditions and ceremonies of drinking tea. Like we have it since, I don't know, childhood. Like when you go to the kindergarten, you will have to have tea, like a black one, maybe not like really strong one. But my kid was so disappointed when he comes to UK schools and they just banned the tea. You can't even bring the cup with you. And he just like, they don't drink a tea. I said like, you will drink it at home, don't worry. When I was a kid, we always have tea every day, like after each single meal probably. And interesting thing that my grandmother and grandfather, they have a special tradition of drinking tea. So they usually drink it with a special, like a plate. Saucer, yeah. Mm-hmm. So when the tea was really hot, they put the tea on a saucer. Mm-hmm. And drink it like that, Yeah.
I do know, because my grandfather, he never had tea from cups or mugs like this. He always had it from a special glass, which had a glass with a glass holder. The special ones, which you can still see on when you go to Ukraine, on trains, when you get it.
Yeah. Special one. I found this one in UK, 2 of them, and
wow.
I was so lucky. They are not so beautiful like we had to have in Ukraine with this
beautifully
curved. Yeah. They're just simple one. But when I saw and buy it straight away and show it to my son, he was just like, "Oh my God, let's play with trains! Yeah. Put that slice of lemon." It's sweet.
How do you like your tea now?
That's interesting because through the time I had my mother-in-law, and she have different tradition from her family. They always collect the different type of leaves from the garden, for example, from some cherry trees, from
Blackcurrant.
yeah, and they dry it and they make a herbal tea.
Yeah, herbal tea is great.
Yes, and she always, when she came to our house, she always present the back of the herbal tea, and she says like this is for with vitamin C, for example. If you, every Ukrainian family have this tradition, or like a ritual, medicine ritual, when someone have a high fever, they will drink a tea with raspberries.
Yeah, well, it's not really tea, is it? You just take raspberry jam and then mix it with water. Yes, we did call it tea.
Yeah.
And apparently it helps to get your fever down.
Yeah.
Probably it does, actually. I remember.
Yeah.
It tastes good, though,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, and even now when you go to Ukrainian, like a pharmacy, you will have a huge stand for whole wall, which like have a lot of boxes, like for the lungs, for the eyes, for the fever, and you can choose this kind of mixed herbs and use it in purpose, and even some doctors prescribe it as a part of your medicine treatment. Yeah, and interesting that even now, when we already 4th year in UK, we still have this tradition with my son. We at the beginning of the summer we went we actually been last time in the Warwick Castle at that moment, and we just tried to took the Linden blooming flowers. Yeah. To dry it and make a tea. And one of the person from the Warwick Castle, he says like, oh, why are you doing it? And my son was like so proud, this is Ukrainian tradition, we will make a tea from that. And he says, actually this is also UK tradition, you know, that Knights of Middle England, they drink this hot water with the leaf of linden as a normal regular drink. And I was so surprised because it's like really nice parallel with our cultural tradition of drinking this kind of tea and theirs.
Am I wrong into thinking that it was similar in Cossack times in Ukraine with sort of herbal teas as well?
Back then, imported tea was unknown. Instead, the Cossacks turned to nature's gifts. Herbs, berries, roots, or even tree bark. What they brewed was more than just a warm drink. It was medicine. It was courage. It was life itself. Every plant had a role. Chay was the warrior's main tea, bringing strength and endurance. Thyme was the herb of courage, boosting the spirit before battle. St. John's wort, known as the blood of the earth, healed wounds and was thought to keep away evil spirits. Rosehip was a vitamin bomb against fever and colds. Wormwood sharpened the mind. Linden blossoms soothed the chest on cold days. And oak bark, the Cossacks called it a drink of endurance, restoring power after wounds. And the way they drink tea, it was a ritual. The first sip was always in silence, to feel the power of the earth. A guest was never left without tea, because offering it was a mark of deep respect. And when there was no time to make a fire, herbs were soaked in cold water, creating a refreshing tonic in the summer heat. Herbal teas weren't just about health, they were a part of Cossack identity. Legend tells us, after battles, in the fields where Cossack blood was spilled, St. John's wort would grow, and its infusion became the best medicine for wounds. Today, this tradition is coming back to life. Chay, thyme, mint, they're not just tasty alternatives to black tea, they're a living connection to our ancestors. When you brew a herbal tea, you might just be sharing the same taste, the same warmth that once kept the Cossacks alive through long campaigns.
This is really interesting parallel between Ukrainian cultures and tradition with the tea and UK medieval traditions of it.
Yeah, since the 17th century, the United Kingdom has been one of the world's greatest lovers of tea. On average, each person here consumes, do you know how many kilos of tea?
No.
2 kilos
No
a
way.
year, can you believe it? What began as an exclusive drink for the wealthy slowly filtered through every class of society until tea became part of Britain's very identity. For example, when you come back to Bath to visit me, we should go to the museum. There is a fantastic museum which is located in Royal Crescent, you know, our beautiful Crescent building, very famous. And in number 1 there is a museum, and apart from seeing how people lived and the furniture and everything, you can actually find out a lot about history. And one interesting thing for me was to find out about the traditions of tea drinking. So we are going back in centuries, probably 18th, 19th century. I hope that's correct. Sorry if I got my numbers wrong. But at that time, the tea was quite new and it was a very exclusive drink. So in this museum, you can see a beautiful chest. And it has a lock with a proper big key. So in the chest, you have different sections for different teas. So the tea leaves were kept there, and only the lady of the house could open the chest. So she had a special key, which was always with her. And
it's a real treasure.
Yeah, it is. It was really expensive. It was very special.
Wow.
So she would open the chest and the tea would be brewed for the family. They would drink it. And I think it was brewed probably 3 times from the same leaves. After that, it was given to servants who brewed another 3, 4, 5, 6 times. After that, they would sell those used tea leaves to whoever. I can't even remember who were those people who would buy it. And actually, they are talking about how dangerous water was and how people would drink ale at the time to prevent themselves from falling ill with multiple diseases that were very common then. And it's very interesting. Everyone, don't miss an opportunity to go to this museum. You can learn so much, and it's just treasure to know this. You know, we drink tea every day. Like how many? And people treasured this moment. They had special chairs, special keys. It's
Imagine
incredible.
if someone make a time machine and told to this lady, you know, that everyone in this century drinks. No way, not possible. Everyone is rich. Yeah, actually, just because, you know, in my imagination, like UK and tea, it's something like blended, I would say. So I was expecting to have a nice and even better tea than we have in Ukraine. So usually in Ukraine, what type of tea I drink? Just a black one. It can be Earl Grey or maybe English breakfast, you know. So when I came to Aldi, I remember I searched on the shelves, and I couldn't find any. It was only...
You mean no tea at all?
No. It was not leaf tea.
Right.
It was just the bags.
Tea bags.
And that's it.
Favorite of all British people.
I was so disappointed. Like, how it's possible? I tried to, you know, different shops. I went to Lidl, and then I have a Tesco Express near my home, and everywhere you can't find the leaf. The tea leaves. I was so sad, and first year I ordered English breakfast tea from Ukraine.
To Britain, British tea, or breakfast tea to come to Britain from Ukraine, because my experience with my parents, I brought tea every year to them to drink since I moved to the UK many years ago.
This is the difference between 3 years in the country, 20 years in the country.
Okay, but it is easier to find tea bags in shops, because when you come, you will have a section of teas, and at the eye level, you will have tea bags. Usually, that's my observation, tea leaves are kept higher, but there will be a smaller choice of them, and if you're talking about express supermarkets, they probably wouldn't have it at all.
I wasn't
but
lucky.
again, there is option. Yeah, you can buy Earl Grey in leaves, you can buy Assam and breakfast tea in leaves, and there will be a number of makes, but the choice won't be as big as teas in bags.
It's good to know. It's good to know. Now I feel like a little bit relief. Okay, but also you said that there is like a special word tea, yeah? But chai, it's also English word for that.
Chai is a special word which came from India, and it means a particular blend of black tea mixed with special herbs, and it's often consumed with sugar and honey. Okay, so it's like a milk and drink. So it's a drink, and if you go to an Indian shop, or not shop, to a curry place, you can order a fantastic, really tasty, with lots of lovely fragrances, smells, beautiful chai.
So it's called chai, like in Ukrainian chai.
Yeah, it's called. So it's
Nice.
Ukrainian chai.
Good.
But also, we have in Britain, we have lots of interesting phrases with the word tea being the center of the world for tea drinking.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for example, do you know what afternoon tea means?
Oh yeah, afternoon tea. It's like a special tradition in UK. I remember I saw the picture, like a old one from 1940s, where the after bombing of London, some lady didn't miss her afternoon tea and she drink it on the destroyed house. I was like shocked that people have this feeling that they need to have a tea at some point at the day, and that's probably everything what I know about it.
Actually, you're not quite right. So afternoon tea is actually a meal that consists of sandwiches, usually cut in delicate fingers.
Yeah.
So there will be little scones with clotted cream and jam, pieces of sweet pastries and cakes.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, scones were not a common feature of early afternoon tea and were only introduced in the 20th century. And tradition of afternoon tea is quite new as well. So it became as a sort of party where ladies from rich families could get together and enjoy. It's like intermeal between
Okay.
lunch, if they even had lunch, and late dinner. At those times, dinner was really, really late, 10 o'clock or so on.
Oh.
So women obviously wanted a little snack, and it could have been a piece of bread and butter, but actually they were more adventurous and decided to turn it into a beautiful tradition of having a proper party. And women would dress beautifully. We need an excuse sometimes for that. And they will have beautiful little sandwiches and beautiful little pieces of cake and lots of...
Yeah, it's interesting.
What does it mean when I say, well, it's actually not my cup of tea?
Oh, it's easy. I know. It's like, it means it's not actually something what I would choose. This is not mine.
Okay, next one. What does it mean when people say a storm in a teacup?
I don't know, but maybe it's something similar to Ukrainian idiom, don't make the elephant from the fly.
Yeah, no, which means just don't overreact. Or sort of someone is overreacting.
Exactly.
Yes, right. You've got this 2 out of 3 already, and we have one more to test you.
Okay.
Okay, and the final one for you. What does it mean when people say as good as a chocolate teapot?
I think it's something really good, like something really nice and sweet and something really nice. I don't know.
Well, I think you might be surprised to find out what British people think.
I've never drunk tea in my life, never have no real interest in drinking tea or any hot drinks for that matter. So my cup of tea or not my cup of tea, so that's basically meaning it doesn't suit me or it does suit me. So if it's my cup of tea, that suits me down to the ground, I'm very happy. It is a saying, and that's like a lot of sayings, they have their roots set in old wives' tales, basically. So storm in a teacup is over quite quickly. Apart from that,
he likes his tea quite strong with not much milk and no sugar. It's just a small affair. It's no big deal. It's basically no big deal. Maybe it's something to do with spilling the beans, telling everybody. I don't know. That's just my guess. Maybe you eat the chocolate teapot. It's a bit like eating a chocolate Easter egg.
Well, it's really interesting that, in UK there is so many idioms and tradition with the tea, and we have a lot of tradition with the tea, but we unfortunately don't have any idioms or maybe sentences about tea. But we have a game.
Which one?
It's like it's play with the sounds. So have you ever heard Chay, Chay, Chai?
Chay, Chay, Chay.
Yeah.
You mean like, yeah, I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever played it as a child.
I
Can you remind
played a
me?
lot. This is kind of like a chasing game. When you tag someone, the person have to be frozen.
Okay, so basically, when you tag me.
And you have to be really loud and say like chai chai buru chai 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 buru chai. And at that moment, someone have to rescue. So type you, and then you become safe, and you can run around again. And the game will be finished when everybody's frozen, and only one is like a winner.
Well, actually, we probably need to translate the name
Yeah.
of the game to people, this tag game, which is Chay, Chay actually means, and I think I can translate it beautifully, TT, rescue me! Thanks for watching us.
If you enjoy our program, please like, share, comment, and
Support the channel via donations. All links below.
thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.